Guys, MCU Clutch here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Marvel Unlimited exclusive Night Spider. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, what figure is this? When did this get announced? How do we get this? This is one of those figures that is only available if you sign up for the top tier of Marvel Unlimited. So Marvel Unlimited is the online digital comics app that is by Marvel. So you can sign up for the subscription, pay however much a month, or you could pay for the whole year ahead, or you can even get the annual subscription plus level, which is $99.99. It provides a kit that comes with like a patch, a pin, an exclusive variant comic, and more importantly, a Marvel Legends figure. So this year, it is Night Spider. Now, Night Spider is one of those, who is Night Spider? It's a Spider-Verse character that was specifically from a cover of Moon Knight. So actually, if we look at the back of this card, we have the cover, the variant cover there of Moon Knight number 23, the Spider-Verse variant cover of Moon Knight 23. So here we have a look at Night Spider. So he's kind of like a Spider-Man version of Moon Knight, which like Arachnite would be kind of the same thing, but different. This one, again, strictly just a comic book cover like character figure. So these figures in the Marvel Unlimited line are always, every single time, they're repaints. That's what they always are. That's what they always will be. The one and only and single exception to that was the Pepper Potts rescue figure that was in like the second one that they had done. It may have been the first. I think Gold Ultron was the first though. That was the only time that one was not a straight up repaint, but they're always straight up repaints. So I'm going to be clear on that. Repaints, always repaints. Now, people are going to say, why is this figure $100? The figure is not $100. The annual subscription to Marvel Unlimited is the $100. Now, you can get, I want to say it's like $70 for the annual subscription. If you buy the kit, it's $100. So if you think about it, $30, you get a variant comic, you get a pin, you get a patch, you get a Marvel Legends figure. So there you go. That's what it is. But everyone's going to be like, no, you're still paying $100 for it. No, like I can read digital comics whenever I want. And then on top of that, hey, I get a cool Marvel Legends figure or semi-cool Marvel Legends figure. They're not always that cool. But that's what we have here. Now, typically, I would not open an exclusive, such a limited exclusive figure like this. I would not typically open it because it's like, oh, it's kind of special. Like 2 years ago, we got the Daredevil, the first appearance yellow suit. It was Bucky cap. It was not great. I never opened that one because it's the vintage retro card. Like I wanted to keep it on my wall. This one is kind of the same thing. We get the blister pack, but it's that fancy new Hasbro design one that's not a throwback to the Spider-Man animated series or to the Toy Biz figures of old. So I don't really care. So I'm going to open this one up. Let's get right into it. We get Marvel Unlimited exclusive image there. The Spider-Man with the web and all that. We get that Night Spider look there. And then again, that is the comic cover. You can see it says not for individual sale because that's not something that's going to be sold really anywhere. You'll be able to get this on eBay all day long. And I have a feeling that this one will probably not be all that valuable of one. And they don't typically hold value very much. Gone are the days where they were like held in value close to $100. This one's not going to be one of them. I don't think. I hope I don't regret opening this and ripping this open. But I'm going to do it. We are going to compare it to a Moon Knight figure, the Walgreens exclusive, because this one shares a lot of the same parts, basically everything except for I guess the boots. The lower legs and the forearms are going to be different, but we get, those moon rings. We got the Moon Knight hands. They're just the open hands. This one's got fists. So there's this. This thing has pins. So it's an old body. Again, these figures are not like, must-haves necessarily in the collection. Because, they are technically behind a $100 paywall. So they don't want it to be those most essential figures that you absolutely have to have and get all the new cool things. This one is not that. So that's why we have that there. Last year's was the Red Nova, which was vital to complete your new Warriors, like kind of thing. But they're always repaints. I've repeated myself a lot. We're 4.5 minutes in. Let's get this thing out of the package and take guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. If you're a fan of my action figure reviews and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm reaching for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're getting really close. So with your help, we can make it. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so here is the Night Spider figure out of the package. And a couple of things. The design is interesting. It's got some cool things going on for it. The other part is it's a repaint. It's a lazy repaint. Like a figure like this should have gotten some new molding. Like these moons here on the legs, sculpted moons would have been so much nicer. Or sculpted moons on the shoulders would have been nicer. We don't have that. And then the arms, like if you look at the image, the arms kind of, they're not just gray, right? It's like it's got like the Moon Knight like mummy wrap type situation going on those arms. So different arms would have been better. But again, these figures don't get any new sculpting, don't get anything new, just straight up repaint. So that is the expectation of these figures. I would love to see more, but then if they do more, have that in mainline. So when it comes to these limited exclusives to where not everyone's going to want them, not everyone's going to be able to get them, not everybody, will add it to their collection. It doesn't need to be those fancy things where they get all new sculpting. In a perfect world, every single figure would be like that. Absolutely. But if this figure got all this new tooling, all this new parts and everything like that, wouldn't you be mad if you had to spend $100 to get the Marvel Unlimited subscription and then just to get the figure? You probably would be, right? So think of it that way. People are still going to be mad at it, but I'm trying to explain. But I would have liked to have seen, some new molding and some things going on here. So if it was a mainline figure, maybe that's something that would have happened. But at the same time, this is something just based off of a cover art. It's not something from inside panels or anything like that. So it makes sense that we wouldn't get any new sculpted things because it's not like a major character in any way, shape, or form other than being, Spider-Man / Moon Knight, crossover. So let's get in for a closer look. We'll look at the details of the design and everything. Some cool things going on there. Let's celebrate that. Let's go ahead. Okay, so the head sculpt is nice. We get those nice outlined eyes there, and then we just get this moon that's just kind of painted right above, and that's kind of it. Like, if it was sculpted, that would have been pretty nice, but that's kind of how it is. Now, the eyes are a little bit wide. If you look at the artwork there, you can see the eyes are very squinted down. But again, that's just strictly off of that artwork, and because that's all there is to base, the entire character off and the character design and everything like that. So we get these wide lenses. I don't mind it. I think it looks good. It's just, painted moon there. We get painted moon on the shoulders. That's not real great. We get the spider in here with a little bit of webbing in the background. That's kind of cool. Interesting design on the spiders. You could see like the spider legs, how they could do the 4 or the 2, and then 2, and then 2, and 2. It just splits kind of at the end. Interesting design. And then it kind of has, a couple of moons. Moon there, like a moon there, moon there, like a moon there. So interesting how they kind of designed it. So we have that. Well, I guess these lines would come down. I guess that split wouldn't really make sense then, would it? Let me see the design. Yeah, I guess that's kind of weird. Yeah. I guess the split in the ab crunch makes it seem like those are two separate lines, but this piece here actually continues on. It's the same line. It's just the ab crunch is kind of throwing that off, I guess. So, and then that other piece there would be like the second leg. The accessories that he comes with are the moon ring. So we get one of these little claw style. Now he does not have the fists that have the little holes in it to actually put these little the tiny one to use. As you can see, this is one that's designed to go like on Moon Knight's fist where he has the holes in there. You can actually plug this into the hand like there for a claw. So we get one of these. You can't really do a whole lot with it. So the only thing that I've been doing is I've been sticking it in between his two fingers, and he can hold it that way, and that's really all you could do. And you got to be careful because that thing will come up lost real quick and easy. And then we get one of the big moon rings. It's the same ones that Moon Knight comes with. He can easily hold it in the hand, which is good. We get the Moon Knight hands. You can see we got the crescent moon there on the back of the hand, kind of that armor piece. Inside the cape is really cool. We get this crazy looking web pattern in there, so I like that it's not clean. Not every spider web is going to be perfectly lined and symmetrical and everything like that, so we get this crazy design in there, and that's cool. Now, the cover art shows that the cape was in a moon shape. There was really no way to kind of do that, so you just have to kind of use your imagination. I wish the bottom of the cape could have been a little bit more rounded. That way you can kind of do a little bit like of a moon shape, but you know, unfortunately we don't have that there. Looking at the back of the figure, there's nothing going on there. The arms are just straight up gray. Should have been like a wrapped look to it. That would have been much nicer. Somebody said, you know, I wish they got like the MCU Moon Knight arms. Like I don't see that, you know, Hasbro was going to do something like that. Ideally, it should have gotten like newly sculpted arms to begin with, but you know, they weren't going to do that. At least we should have gotten pinless. Like the pinned versions of these should just go away. You know, maybe at some point they will, but you know, unfortunately here we do get pins. Now the okay thing is gray on gray, so we have that there, and then black on black. So it's not going to break up colors or anything like that. But you know, at this point, let's just have everything pinless and just get rid of pins altogether. We get the moons there just above the knee, and those are just painted on. Sculpted would have been really nice. And then the back of the feet, we actually get that same web patterns type design that's on like on the inside of the cape, and then here on his chest. So that's good. But I love, you know, the craziness of the web that's actually in there. So we get that in the back of the feet. So not a whole lot else going on. This one, it just sits over. This is the same cape that came with the Walgreens exclusive. You can plug it in on his back and it holds a little bit nicer, but one thing that is terrible, one thing that does not seem to work out real well, and I'll have to adjust my camera down here, is the cape goes down further than he stands. So standing up is kind of difficult because the cape will hit the ground first, and that's kind of tricky. And I think maybe part of the problem is because Moon Knight had different calves. I think it was a little bit, I mean, he kind of suffers from the same thing, but it's not as bad, I feel, whereas this one, it just kind of like floats around. And then this one also had the hooded, had the hood, so the hood kind of wrapped around, the cape kind of wrapped around the hood, the collar of it a little bit and snug, and didn't have it so like loose. You know, the cape just moves around like crazy, and it's just kind of a pain. And then the peg hole is so far down on the back, and the peg on the cape is too far up that you have to like really work that in there and get it to hold, and it just doesn't hold in place real well. And then also you can see he just, you know, is basically standing on the cape. So a couple of issues. It's just more focus on the design of the figure, I would say. So not perfect, just an okay figure. But let's go ahead and see how he moves. It is the SpiderMan 2099 body, so we know exactly how it moves. Moves really well, but let's go ahead and get into articulation. SpiderMan, he can look up all the way, which is great. He can look down all the way as long as you tuck that chin into that collar piece. You get a full rotation on that head sculpt. Tiny bit of pivot going on in there. The shoulder you can get to go straight on out like so. You can do a full rotation in that shoulder. We have the butterfly joint, so you can get that arm to go back an insane amount. See the cape just comes off so easy. Moon Knight didn't have that problem because he had the hood, so the cape never would have just popped over the head. But I guess it could be easier to show you guys the articulation. So butterfly joint goes all the way back. Coming forward, you get some good crossbody in there, which is great. You got an upper bicep swivel in there. The double jointed elbow, which does have pins. Pins make it a little gummy, so too gummy. Now, this isn't just flopping around or anything like that, but if you move them to the side like so, yes, you are going to notice the gumminess, so heads up there. But that much bend at the elbow, I feel like that's, like we should get more out of that, shouldn't we? Hold on, let's compare to Moon Knight. But Moon Knight's got different, he's got gauntlet forearms, so anyway, that much bend there. At the elbow. Wrist swivel, we get vertical hinges on both of these because they're kind of a trigger finger type grip hand. Vertical hinge for both of them there. We have an ab crunch on Night Spider, so you can crunch forward that far there. You can go back that far there. It does break up the design a little bit in there. You got a waist swivel, legs go out that far apart. You can kick forward that far there, which is good. The leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there, double jointed pinned knee, so that much bend at the knee. You do have the calf swivel in there, foot hinges all the way down. You get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So SpiderMan 2099 body, at this point we've seen it done a million times. It's still a really good body, still holds up really well. I just wish that this one was fully pinless, which they have done. They do now have this body completely pinless, so the arms and the legs, the knees and the elbows are pinless on some figures. I can't think of which one has it at this point, but it does exist. It's just not on this. So the full-on side-by-side, which I don't know if I stood these up next to each other yet or not, but here we have Night Spider and Moon Knight, and as you can see, essentially the same body, just different forearms, different lower legs. We get the same cape and the same body overall. He obviously doesn't have the belt or anything there, but very, very similar. You can see the inspiration. It's a Spider-Man version of Moon Knight. Okay, so in trying to kind of recreate that cover art scene, it's difficult with that, you know, rubber cape to be able to kind of recreate there, but I kind of did the best that I could in utilizing the Hasbro Pulse flight stands in there. Interesting design, and I would love to get a better figure of it, you know, a pinless figure, and then a different cape at this point. Like, they don't even use... they don't even use this one. Like, the newest Moon Knight figure used the X-Men 97 Magneto cape, which is just a better cape because it's not as long, and I think that's kind of my biggest problem here. Different arms would have been nice, like if we had the sculpted wraps, that would have been a long way. But, you know, it's one of those where, you know, it's not a necessary figure to add to the collection. It's just a nice one to have. And it's just added incentive to sign up for Marvel Unlimited. You know, that's the goal there, is to get in the subscription. And then, hey, you know, for $30 more for your yearly subscription, get a couple of cool things. Get a nice little box with a couple of comics, a couple goodies, and a Marvel Legends figure. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Night Spider figure? Do you get the Marvel Unlimited exclusive figures? We've gotten a bunch at this point. We've got Gold Ultron, we got Rescue, we've got Rocket Raccoon, we've got a Tony Stark, we've got Captain Marvel, we've got Venomized Punisher, we've got the purple Deadpool guy. Which one was he? Ooh, which one was he? I can't remember his name. I'm probably forgetting one or two or three of them. We got the Red Nova. We got the first appearance, yellow suit Daredevil. That was on Retro Card. So if you go to my website, you can see all the images for each and every one. I'll have a link in the video description below to that. I'll have a link in the video description below to the Marvel Unlimited page, where you can sign up for this if that's what you want to get. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below on the figure. Again, it's not one that's necessary to anyone's collection, but could be a cool little addition. Yes, it would be nice to get all sculpted details and everything like that, but again, I think people would be mad that you'd have to pay $100 to be able to get it, right? You get the unlimited subscription, sure, but, you know, if you want the figure, it's, again, stuck behind a $100 paywall. So that's there. So these are always repaints. That's what they're always going to be. Don't, like, set your expectations to be really high to where you get something that's crazy brand new, and things like that. But you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.